Ago, Governor Cuomo began a cabinet meeting at the Capitol. He's touching on a number of important issues, and it's the first time he's held one of these meetings in about 5 months. Pat Bailey was there. He joins us live now to tell us what was on the governor's mind. And I know that they billed this as an important announcement. Pat, what gives?
Liz, to tell you the truth, it was really the cabinet sitting around and basically breaking down what happened this previous year that the governor's administration did for the state of New York, starting at the beginning of the year with the SAFE Act, talking about how that new state law was passed, the gun law was passed, and then basically talking about the whole legislative session and the casino proposal and all the recommendations, again, that this governor's administration has done throughout this year. Very pro, of course, as you can imagine, Governor Cuomo cabinet meeting, talking again, touting what was done and achieved and at least rolled out this year. And one of the big things, though, that a lot of people were talking about, though, was the tax plan. In fact, the budget director, Bob Megna, was basically reiterating what the tax commission put out there just last week, the recommendations that were put out there. And one of the things that the governor's office took criticism over was this tax plan because for a few reasons. One said, some people said it doesn't do a lot for New York City residents. Well, they tried to clear up the air today talking about saying that there's tax credits for renters in New York City under this tax plan. And another thing that the governor's office took criticism over for, or at least the tax commission took criticism for, was the way that it was rolled out, saying that there are tax credits available for some homeowners, but if they live in certain parts of the state where local governments stay within the 2% property tax cap, and there were some restrictions tied to those tax credits. So a lot of talking about the tax commission's recommendations today, and again a push by the governor's office to tout this plan, to get New Yorkers on board with this plan. A lot of people talking about a $2 billion surplus. We've been hearing all along that the state still has about $1 billion surplus left over from 3 years ago. So the question was, is there really a surplus, and how does the tax reforms come in if there isn't a surplus? Well, Budget Director Bob Megna says if the state stays at a 2% spending like they are right now, money will in fact be left over for a tax reduction next year. And then the governor was asked, will there be cuts to state programs to help fund a tax reduction next year, and the governor said, quote, no, there will be no tax cuts to state programs to fund tax reductions next year. So again, the big topic of discussion, probably the last 20 minutes dominating the cabinet meeting, was the tax commission's report on tax reductions. That's something every New Yorker that owns a home is certainly looking forward to next year. So Liz, that's pretty much happening now, live, right behind us here at the Capitol.
So it's still going on then?
Yep, still going on. In fact, the governor just opened up questions to the media. He's now getting asked several questions. Very rare appearance, as you said.
Yeah.
The governor hasn't been in front of the Albany media in several months, so he's getting asked a lot of questions that people have been waiting to ask him. There's some questions about the train derailment still, but still, again, the topic of discussion being dominated is the tax reduction, because he really didn't answer too many questions, even after that tax reduction or tax commission meeting last week when it was held with former Governor Pataki and Carl McCall.
All right. Well, listen, we'll let you get back in there so you could ask your questions, and we'll look forward to your report tonight. Pat Bailey, hey,
right.
Thanks very much. Live
Sounds
from
good.
Albany. Okay.